When we talk about reaching the heights of American and Canadian and Major League Soccer, it starts here. The end product is the World Cup. The end product is MLS Cups, but it begins here. Man, oh man, does this kid live up to the hype. A second cross floated in Serrano! Seattle Sounders with the goal! These 15-year-olds, these 16 and 17-year-olds, to go through tournaments like this, the adversity they face, because every single one of these players has the ability to play for your first team. Remember this when your first team lifts MLS Cups in the future.
We have finally entered the knockout rounds of the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup, the Premier Youth Championship in North America at the U17 level. And for lunch today, the dish is revenge. Group C rematch as Tigres faces off against the Houston Dynamo in a cross-border rival. Hey everybody, I'm David Goss. Alongside me, Michael Lahoud. We've got Kelly Glendenning who will be joining us in a little bit. Michael, so far we're midway through. What have you thought of this tournament?
It's been incredible to see such young talent playing with such poise, maturity, and skill.
And that skill is going to be put to the test here as we take a look at the bracket, because now it is must-win territory for these young teams. We take a look at the Houston Dynamo and Tigres in the bottom left of that bracket, looking for a matchup in the next round against Charlotte FC and NYCFC. So now is must-win territory. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here for this round of 16 match. 60 minutes and win and move on. And when we look at Tigres, it feels like it might be a typo, but it's the Galvan brothers up top.
And it's Isais Galvan who's been the danger man for this Tigres team, scoring goals when the team needs him most. Houston will need to keep an eye on him or else he will run riot in the box.
And look at number 300, Diego Sanchez as well, who had a goal in the opener against this Houston Dynamo team. On the flip side, for the Dynamo, there's a ton of excitement about this young team, but no one more than the young man, Andre Guitao, that left midfield spot.
And he's a special player, rightfully so, getting the attention from the first team. Spent preseason with the first team and Dynamo 2. Look for him to bring skill and aggression down that wing side.
A number of players in this group that have played with that have trained with the first team and now training with the second team as we get ready to kick this one off. The Houston Dynamo in their classic black kits with that orange color across, going right to left on your screens. Tigres in their legendary yellow kits with the blue stripes, going left to right on your monitors. Two giant clubs sitting on either side of the border between Texas and Mexico. And right now it's Houston versus Monterrey. It's Tigres against the Dynamo. We kick off here. Tigres winning Group C. Houston getting through as one of the best second place qualifiers out of the 10 group. As Guitao, his first opportunity to get on the ball. Charging forward now are the Dynamo. One big change to their starting lineup from the last game as Vivo enters the starting team. Otherwise, stability, solidity for this team and Coach Aiden, Usman, Bavic, and Basic. And for more on what the head coach Auden had to say, let's go to our sideline reporter, Kelly Glendenning. Kelly will come to us in just a moment as Houston knocks it around the back line. And let's go back down to Kelly.
Sorry about that, David. Yeah, so I got to speak to head coach of the Houston Dynamo before this game, and he said that we're setting the tone for the first 10 minutes of the match. Well, it was a simple answer. He just wants them to hold on to the ball and really own that front possessionally.
Guitao breaks into the box. A body goes down in the box. We get the wave of play on. As our head official for this one, Abdu and Jay, waves play through, and you heard what Auden had to say. You can see Houston starting out on the front foot.
And it's through the play of Guitao, physically imposing, but it's so easy to get lost in that if you look at his player profile because he's shifty, the danger man for this Houston team. When he gets the ball at his feet, he wants to fake left and cut in right and get a shot. Look for him to be a difference maker for them today if they're going to progress.
So we will be here all day here on the MLS YouTube page as well as on Twitch. Shout out to all of you on Twitch watching along with us. Feel free to send us any comments, any questions. We'll be in the chat with you. Ex-Frosty, the score of the previous game was Inter Miami beating Atlanta United 2-1 to move into the quarterfinals. In that big rivalry game, you can go to MLSsoccer.com for all the updates live as they happen at the end of each result. We are on to the quarterfinals already of the U15 competition in their rest day. And we are here in the round of 16 at the U17 level. This Tigres now comes away with it. We also have a question here that says, I've never seen a 3-digit number before on a soccer jersey. Everyone for Tigres has a 3-digit number. I think it's so cool. What do you make of it?
I love it, except for some of the times when you're in the booth and you're using binoculars to try to differentiate the numbers. No, I love it. I played against Tigres. I actually scored my first ever pro goal against Tigres, and I played for one Chivas USA, and don't think there was a single non-triple digit number. Something about it gets you going. It always got me going, and I think it's a sign of respect for the first team guys. You have to earn the lower numbers.
So as Michael explained, the teams in Mexico, almost uniformly, they only assign each number once to a player in the entire club. So if Andre Pierre Gignac wears number 10, no one else in the club can wear number 10, and then they band it based off what level you are at. And so the options 100 to 200 to the reserve team, 200 to 300 to these U19 and then U17 players. And so you always know exactly where you stand in the club based off the number on the back of your jersey. I think it's one of the cooler traditions that we see. We will see it coming up as well with Monterrey out of Liga MX still in this competition. Chance to cross, and that one screwed just wide. Gorgeous day here for soccer. 70 degrees and sunny. We do have the gusty winds that you have to expect in Frisco, but they've weirdly shifted. We normally see it from left to right across your screen. It's actually right now feels like it's coming across the field. And if not, it's coming from behind that Dynamo goal. So something for these young players to monitor.
And really, you have to take advantage of it if you're playing with the wind. And we've already seen it. Houston playing with the wind. Goalkeeper almost kicked the ball from box to box. And that's where you have to gamble. Gamble that your opponent, they're going to have the ball holding up in the wind. As you see, Tigres, the ball didn't even reach midfield for their goalkeeper. And when the ball goes to the back line, that's when you gamble, and maybe you get around the center back, and now you're in on goal 1v1.
So chance there, Ferreira not able to bring it down. We've got African Stew in the chat saying Guitao is going to be nasty, and we have seen it already. U17 international starter has trained all preseason with the first team, now in training day in and day out with the second team in the debut season of MLS Next Pro. As Ferreira coming forward, pushes it wide. Opportunity to push here for DeFay. And the right back earns the first corner kick of the game, coming here for the Dynamo.
And talking with their staff, they're very high on Guitao. Look for him, and this is coming from them, look for him. Do not be surprised if you start seeing him on the bench for the second team Dynamo 2.
Corner kick coming for the Dynamo. It'll be Jackson to take this one. Parker Jackson, one of the central midfielders starting in this one. Pulls it back, goes short. Ball comes in, knocked away by Tigres. And now Tigres looking to hit in transition. The ball over the top for the run of Sanchez. Diego Sanchez, number 300. He has been the creative outlet for Tigres all tournament, and he gets dragged down for a free kick.
I've really enjoyed watching Sanchez play. There's a reason why he has the armband on his sleeve. Heart. What he lacks in size, he makes up for in willpower and heart. On display with this foul, drawing this foul. 3 Dynamo players around him, but he won't give up, and he gets a free kick in a dangerous position.
And we broadcast for Tigres their matchup against RSL, the second game of the group stage, 1-1 tie that went to penalties for that extra point. And Tigres were almost invisible in the attack outside of Sanchez until stoppage time when they scored the equalizer through the head of Galvan off a free kick, or excuse me, off a corner kick. So set pieces in transition, something to watch out for in the set piece coming here. Sanchez out wide. NJ, our head official, right on top of this one. The cross played in. A left-footed cross to the far post, headed back across the box. Up in the top of the 18, Ferreira trying to clean it up, and finally it is by Jackson. And Jackson puts that one out into the path of Gehrig to chase. And Miles Gehrig not able to catch up to it.
You see the effect of the wind on that. I think Jackson barely got a boot on it, and the ball sails all the way back to the opposing goalkeeper.
The foul goes against Tigres. That was Vivo. Sorry, making the run over the top there. All right, midfielder. 30-minute halves for a 60-minute game here in the round of 16 at the Generation Adidas Cup. Beautiful footwork there to open things up from Pania.
We see from Tigres something we didn't see in the matchup where we got to watch them against RSL. They sat back more in a mid-block. They're coming with the high press against Houston.
Jackson breaks lines to Ferreira, looking for the run now. Vivo putting the pressure on, and the offside flag goes up.
Houston doing well to combine quick combinations, looking for the run of Vivo. They tried to find Vivo off the corner kick, but the referee spots it offside. But good recovery run from the Tigres back line. If the defenders make the tackle, then Vivo's in 1v1 on goal.
Yeah, Crota recovering there from that left back spot for Tigres. Houston Dynamo, as we mentioned, first game of the group stage, they lost 2-0 here to Tigres. Then a 1-0 win over Montreal for this Houston team. Miles Gehrig up top, leading the side with 2 goals on the tournament, and then the 2-1 win over RSL. It was Jesus Orihuela with the winner in that one. Number 57 in midfield, Orihuela, the Colombian, one of the bright young spots in this Dynamo club, already training with the first team as well throughout preseason. Guitao picks this one up. Quickly down the line for the run of Alanis. Alanis here gets to the left foot. Can't find a teammate with that pullback. Pania heads that one back into the danger area. Will be a Houston throw-in as we are 10 minutes into this 30-minute first half. David Goss, Michael Lahoud with you here on Twitch. Keep putting your comments in the chat. We got one here from Chocolate Milk Jugs who says, who in this GA tournament are sign sets playing with MLS first team? That's a great question. It's honestly changing as we sit here. Players are currently negotiating and signing deals, about 15 players on homegrown deals in this U17 stage. We'll see one in Christian McFarland coming up in our next game for NYCFC. We saw 2 in our last game with Noah Cobb with Atlanta United. We also had Francisco Valencia, who's already been signed for Inter Miami. Reed Baker Whiting, who already has 2 starts in MLS here with the Seattle Sounders, who are in the round of 16 knockout stages as well. And then a number of players on USL deals or on MLS Next Pro deals. And that is the new part of the development you didn't have when you were coming through as a player, that a kid like Guitao, just 15 years old, can be training with pros day in and day out and maybe make his pro debut.
I know the feeling that I had being these players' age. I wasn't thinking about college, but of course my parents were. And thank you, Mom and Dad, because I have a college education. Woo-woo. But when I was their age, always got to give a shout out to Wake Forest. But when I was a teenager, DC United, I grew up in their backyard, and the academy system wasn't around yet. And really just meeting first team players, meeting the Eddie Popes, Marco Reggeveri, that had such an impact on me because it made me believe. It allowed me to dream. And that's just being a ball boy for the club, let alone being in the organization and being through the team ecosystem.
And for these young players, Pat Onstead was here yesterday, the head man, making the decisions, watching these players, interacting with these players, supporting them. They know how close they are to that dream. Paulo Nagamura has been watching the game, Azra Mendelson as well. So the whole front office staff, the brain trust for this club, they know where these players stand. And as you said, a chance day in and day out to meet those high-level pros, see what that next step could be like, because Can imagine it's a bit of a culture shock when you become a pro all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. And the biggest thing that not a lot of people told me growing up was, how do you become a pro? So much emphasis is put on talent, but there are habits. You create your good habits young. You just don't sign your contract and walk into professional soccer.
And so, as we said, guys like Guitao and Orihuela spending the entire 6-week preseason on the road with the first team, playing alongside guys who have done this in the past. Sebas Ferreira, a full international for Paraguay. Darwin Quintero, pieces in this team like a Zarek Valentin, who's played in MLS Cups. Steve Clark as well. As you said, to watch, to learn. How do you train? How do you prepare? How do you take care of your body? All the little elements that now these young players are learning so quickly.
And it's a bit of extra motivation for these young players that makes it that much more real. You're being put on the manager's radar. The first team manager for Houston, Paulo Nagamura, former teammate of mine, excellent teammate, and a guy who I learned a lot from, most important of all, kicking people. He had the gift of fouling.
Hit his penalty kick in the 2013 MLS Cup to win it for Sporting KC. So not a bad career for him, and now first-time head coach with the Houston Dynamo. This Houston Academy has come on leaps and bounds over the last 5-6 years under Paul Holliker, who we may have a chance to speak with later on. The Academy director came from the San Jose Earthquakes after a long, prestigious career coaching, scouting across college soccer and professional soccer, and there was a lot of work to do for the Houston Dynamo. They were not a presence in the market. Memo Rodriguez, really the lone big-time player to come through out of the academy.
With that touch you just had off camera. Might as well roll back the clock.
Oh, you just noticed that little forward?
Man, periphery vision. Even the Tigres bench noticed.
Listen, if you sit here and watch 7 straight days of soccer, at some point, I'm like out here like, oh, sucking the fullback. I'll initiate the press. I'm going to get to my men's league game next week, so I'm not going to be able to run.
So we can call you the Northeast Pep?
I think that's probably accurate. I think that's as close as you can get.
They call me the Sierra Leone Mourinho.
Hey, that's better.
Yeah.
Yours sounds better than mine. Michael LaHoo, David Goss here with you. Sierra Leone, full international guy who talks about soccer, standing alongside him, and one of the legends of the game. Michael, sporting some gorgeous MLS gear as well, as Tigres now fly forward into the attack. A footed cross coming in. Floated to the far post, the volley, and it's just wide, but the opening was there for Isak Galvan.
And it's Galvan to Galvan. When one's not in the game, the other one is being a menace. And I think the technique was right on, but the aim was off. If he just skews a little bit to the right, he connects. But really good technique to be able to connect with that first time. That is a very difficult thing to do, but now it's getting the accuracy.
He got it with the laces, and he got that dip to that far post, as you said. Just about putting it on frame. So Isak Galvan and Isias Galvan, twin brothers in the attack. They have combined for 4 goals for this Tigres side.
I had a really awesome conversation in Spanish with the Tigres coach, and he just rave reviews of the Galvan brothers. Said they come from a really good family, and what you see on the field translates to them as people. They're really good people who happen to also be very talented young soccer players.
Monterrey, of course, a talent-rich area in Mexico. And 2 big clubs to split it between. As a cross gets into the box, it falls for Ferreira, and he pulls his shot just wide. But a good look there for Braden Ferreira.
That's the first time we've seen a midfielder, one of the center midfielders, get forward and in the box. It's so easy to be a ball watcher, to be a bystander when you have a player like Gaitao in your attack. But I'd like to see one of the Dynamo midfielders gamble like Ferreira did. Look for him to be more of a box-to-box presence for the Dynamo.
And you love those deep-lying midfielders make those runs.
Oh, man. I was foaming at the mouth when we saw some of the goals yesterday.
And one of the goals against Tigres was RSL, a good combination into the midfielder making the run out of a deeper position. So Ferreira getting a touch on that one, and now flying forward is Alanis. Alanis to the end line, pulls it back, and the opening goal! Myles Garrett, his third of the tournament, and he puts the Dynamo ahead.
The Dynamo have been very active down this left-hand side. Good overlapping combination play from Alanis. And that's what Gaitao can bring. Commands so much attention, but keep an eye on Alanis. He turns on the Jets and picks up his head, but what he does even better, he cuts it back, spots the near post run of Garrett. So many coaches I had would tell me, believe it or not, I used to play striker in youth soccer, and my coaches would scream at me, do not be static in the box. You have to decide whether you're going to go near post or far post. Garrick gambles, runs near post, and there's a word with a cutback pass, and doing what strikers do, he finishes at the near post, giving the Dynamo the lead.
Myles Garrett, his third of the tournament, a true goal poacher up top. And for this Houston Dynamo team, they lost 2-0 to open the group stage against this Tigres team. What a confidence builder to come out and take the lead.
Well, talking to their staff, they were saying that they were very surprised to draw a team they had played in the first game of this tournament. But with that comes a sense of revenge. They've looked very much up to it, and they brought the energy that they may have lacked in that first game. And once you play a team first, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise because it wills you. Do you have the character to stand up and really come back and make something of this tournament?
So Mutianu, the goalkeeper for Houston Dynamo, really getting his first touch. As the Houston Dynamo take the 1-0 lead here at Toyota Soccer Center. A gorgeous goal, a gorgeous setup from Alanis, and the finish from Garrick. David Goss, Michael Lahoud here with you in the booth. Down on the field, we've got Kelly Glendenning with a little bit more on that goal reaction.
Guys, I'm just now getting here, so I'm getting used to the reactions that the teammates of the players who are just out here on the bench have. They get up and they take their entire way down the sideline to meet the goal scorer. But what I also loved is Coach Dean, for Houston Dynamo, got up and actually went and shook the hands of 3 other Houston Dynamo technical staff members who are about 10 yards behind the bench. It truly is a team effort over there, making sure everyone gets the dab, everyone gets credit.
Thanks so much, Kelly. And if it is your first time watching the Generation Adidas Cup or here with us, it is one, the best week of the year. But two, one of the most fun things is these players getting to celebrate these big moments. And often, and we'll see as it goes along, you can already see the Dynamo U15s are back behind one side of this. We've got Tigres players as well in the area. That camaraderie, as Kelly said, is one of the best parts of this.
And I love to see coaches celebrating like that because it shows they care. I watched Philadelphia play yesterday, and I think their coach, once they scored the opening goal, did the CR7 celebration, got up just as high as Ronaldo would, and I just love that.
Philadelphia Union, a 2-0 win over Flamengo out of Brazil to win their group. And when you talk about the coaching staff and the academy staff, Myles Garrett, originally from California, came out of the Barca Arizona Academy, part of a residency. So there are so many pieces to a player like this coming in. You've got scouting, you've got homestay development, you've got trainers, you've got physical trainers. And it's nice to see that everyone's a part of this and everyone's involved. And Alanis trying to get involved once again. He already has 1 assist. That pullback intercepted.
It's good work from Alanis, but I love the point you make, David, because that shows that there's opportunity there, and you're not just locked into your home market. California is such a soccer hotbed. You know another soccer hotbed? Texas. And to see a team like Houston, who's only really had 1 homegrown player make an impact to the first team, it shows the shift in focus and the emphasis that Pat Onstad and his staff are putting towards the youth development.
Corner kick coming here for the Dynamo, trying to double their lead. Hung up in the box, it bounces, and it's an Olympico! Off the bounce, the wonder goal, and I believe it's for the young man Gaitao off the corner kick.
See what it means to Houston, see what it means to this team.
And it's Jackson who put it in. Parker Jackson, the shot, the miscommunication, and Michael, it doesn't matter how it goes in, that's a dream goal.
And the wind The goalkeeper was screened, and we've seen this time and time again throughout this tournament. You have to be proactive, not reactive. The Tigres goalkeeper very much reactive, and Houston, it has been one-way traffic to start this knockout round match.
And Parker Jackson's been phenomenal in midfield to start breaking up attacks, knocking the ball around a little bit, and then he gets the opportunity off that corner kick. He doesn't waste it. Can Diego Sanchez find the reaction? And there is the opportunity. The point to the spot from our head official, NJ. And immediately Tigres trying to cut this lead in half.
When your team needs you most, who do you look to? You look to your captain for an immediate reaction. And it's Sanchez providing the response. Goes directly at Lampin, and Lampin, he just gambles on that, gets it wrong, mistimes his slide. He didn't need to do that because he had two other teammates behind him, and that's where he'll learn from that. Keep your feet moving, keep shuttling the attacker wide, because you have support and you have the goalkeeper, oh yeah, the near post as well. But costly mistake from the young man.
You see the length, the size of Mutiani in goal, but it'll be Galvan to step up and take this one to cut this lead in half for Tigres. And it's in the corner. So 2 goals in 2 minutes, as this game has opened up and we are off to the races. About a minute between the 2 goals. Jackson with that Olympico, and then you talk about it all the time, Michael, the big 5 minutes, the opening 5 minutes, the 5 minutes after you score, control those moments. And Houston let it get away.
And oftentimes it's a rush of blood to the head. Yes, your team's up 2-0. But they say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer, and it shows there it's for a reason. Now, how do Houston respond? Tigres, they've gotten the lifeline. I thought they were a bit slow to get into this game, but it doesn't matter how you get the goals. It's what you do with the next moments afterwards.
And interestingly enough, it was Edgar Villancensio, the center back for Tigres, to take that penalty kick. The Galvan brothers have each taken 1 penalty in the run of play, as well as in the penalty kick shootouts they've been in, as Sanchez puts that cross in. So Michael, as a player, you're out there on the field, moments like that, where are you at mentally right now?
If you're an attacking player, you're throwing your heart. No, I'm kidding. If you're an attacking player, you're a bit frustrated because there's a feel-good vibe about this team, and really a player for Houston. There's a feel-good vibe going. Everything's gone your way. You've brought the right intensity and attitude, but this is where your leaders now step up.
All the way over the other end for Garrick. He had the opener. And he's looking to continue to lead for his side.
Where your leaders now step up and really team camaraderie. If you're a center back, you give Lemon an arm around the shoulder and say, hey, it's okay. And now you encourage him and really encourage him to step up. And great opportunity for him to right the wrongs of that penalty kick call by getting a goal off a header.
And for Lampman, a tough moment there. He is on loan for this tournament from Michigan Wolves as a guest player. He'll be joining for the MLS next season coming up. Playing in unfamiliar territory a little. And now he's in the box looking to get something going the other way for his group. And obviously, Parker Jackson to another corner kick. This one headed up into the air. Will be another attempt for Houston coming off the back of that purposeful Olympico is what we'll call it from Parker Jackson.
Love the words, always the broadcasting poet, Mr. Goss.
I love that. Jackson, just a young player. He knew where the cameras were on his celebration. That is some pro level stuff. So Jackson, the right-footed service again. Knocked on at the near post, up into the air. And then gone up and taken there from Cesar Gonzalez. We're in the final 5 minutes of the first half. What a day we've had so far. A golazo to open things up in stoppage time of the first half of our first game by Inter Miami. An equalizer by Atlanta United 2 minutes after that. And then a big winner by Brian Destin to move into the quarterfinals in our first game for Inter Miami. And the Houston Dynamo coming out raring here. A gorgeous setup from Alanis. to put Gehrig in at the near post for the opening goal. And then Jackson's Olympico doubled the lead for a minute before the penalty kick and the goal for Tigres. And we sit at 2-1 as we approach halftime. Continuing in the box, Gitao has it knocked away.
And there's so easy to miss certain details. Houston have a corner kick and a throw-in off that play because Gitao did not give up on a routine ball over the top. And that's a good sign. That is what coaches want to see at the next level, is the hustle from attacking players. And it's so easy for young attackers to just take plays off. He doesn't there, and now they have a good opportunity.
So it's Parker Jackson once again. Jackson's right-footed service, almost on goal again, headed away by Tigres at the near post. Jackson's got options. He goes to his left foot, puts the cross in. And the clearance at the near post by Santiago Garcia.
Houston having success going down this left-hand side. And keep an eye on the number of runners they have coming to the near post. They scored a goal and 2 runners crashing to the near post. Tigres' goalkeeper stranded on his line, and they're taking advantage of that.
Dying moments of this first half, which means the wind will shift on Houston. So can they take advantage? Once again, late on here, another corner kick. Headed away. Still in the box. Tigres clear it to the far side. Isias Galvan picks it up, and now he's looking for the counterattack. And he sprays it to the other side to his brother Isak. Isak Galvan cuts in, and the tackle poked away from Pinilla.
As a goal-saving tackle from Pinilla, does well to not dive in.
Tigres looking to poke once again. Pinilla heads that one out of the box. Incredible defending there from Pinilla.
And they needed that. That was last-ditch defending from Pinilla. And what Lampman didn't do on the penalty kick goal, Pinilla did on that. Not just reacting to not diving in, but also reading where the space was. There were 2 Tigres players open in the box if he doesn't make that diving header. Not only just clears it out, but redirects it into space so Houston can now go on the counter.
There we go. Michael Lahoud with you here from the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup U17 action. U15 action is off for the day. We will be back with 4 games tomorrow, all 4 quarterfinals at the U15 level. Coming up here on Thursday at the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup today. We've got 4 round of 16 U17 games for you. Thank you, Jacob Finbar, in the chat for asking on Twitch. We will be on the Twitch chat the whole of these broadcasts, so keep sending in your questions, your comments. Let us know what you think, what you've seen so far. Michael, take me into this coaching staff for the Houston Dynamo. What's your message? What's your focus here at halftime?
I would tell them to manage the moments, manage the emotions, and really halftime's not done yet, or the halftime hasn't arrived yet, so there's still details to be followed, but you calm down, you manage the emotions of the first half, and you have to consolidate that same energy you brought out in the first half. They're going to need to come out swinging in the second half, because next goal is crucial for either team.
Isak Galvan chasing. And it's tackled away. Michael, you talked with the Tigres coaching staff, and it feels like their message still applies. Their front 4 are lethal, and they know at some point they'll get chances if they can stay in this game.
And it's through the play of Isais Galvan. On that counterattack that almost led to a goal, the composure, good first touch from him to bring it down out of the wind. That takes focus, that takes skill and technique, but he does that, sucks 3 players to him, and then has the vision to spring a diagonal ball to connect with his brother going in on goal.
You mentioned Gitao's effort. We see it there again. When your star player is working that hard, it's something special, and you can feel the revenge we talked about for the Houston Dynamo, I think, in this performance. And this is the point of this tournament for a lot of players. They've never played international competition before. So you get it first game of the group stage, you learn, and now you can see these players' levels rising.
And their staff talked about the excitement level of international competition.
Chance to break into the box here. That cross played up will go out for a corner kick.
Of international competition, and yes, they're drawing a team that they faced in the first game of the group stages, but then again, you're playing against almost a regional rival. When it talked about the regional rivalry, does it exist or does it not between Tigres, they said, look, our kids, they have Mexican heritage. They're very familiar with this Tigres brand and this Tigres team, and they would love nothing more than to get the revenge victory.
They've been the gigante in the region over the last decade. Jackson now sitting on that goal, trying to sneak maybe outside of the foot one on that near post. Tigres, they've been the giant. Gignac, so much talent in that team. Zelarayan coming from Tigres, Champions Leagues, Club World Cups, championships. And for the Houston Dynamo, as you said, it's something you're aware of, and these young players are trying to help grow the brand for the Houston Dynamo once again to that championship pedigree. They've done an incredible job so far in the first half of this round of 16 matchup in the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup. Miles Garrick, his third goal of the tournament, opens the scoring. His teammate, Parker Jackson, an Olympico a few moments later, and then a penalty kick a minute after that. And we are locked in at 2-1 in this rematch. Incredible action so far, and we've got much more coming up for you from Dallas in the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup.
What the foreign country have done in 1 century, we did it in 10 years.
The great soccer pioneer Lamar Hunt once said, "I get asked this a lot. Why has soccer not succeeded?" My answer is, soccer has succeeded. It is already the fastest growing youth participation sport in the U.S. It has already succeeded at the youth level, no question. Lamar Hunt envisioned early on that youth development would play a vital part in the growth of soccer in the United States. But to measure how far we've come as a soccer nation starts here in Frisco, Texas. The Generation Adidas Cup brings Major League Soccer academies face-to-face against international powerhouses from all over the world. Since the introduction of this tournament, and in the last few years alone, the youth game has gone through a metamorphosis. But what is being done at the youth level to advance the game?
The game, the players, and our coaches.
Through a partnership with the French Football Federation, Major League Soccer began prioritizing the education of coaches in every level, and alongside on-field competition and the development of a player itself, encompass the 3 pillars of focus towards advancing the youth game.
We have put in a lot of time and effort on coaching development. So I think that the results of that are starting to happen. The coaches who have gone through the French EFCL, the French Federation course, we're starting to see how that has changed in the way their teams are approaching the game and the way that they're playing. The fact that our clubs now are going younger and younger, bringing in kids at the ages of, in some cases, 11 and 12 years old, it's giving them a little bit of longevity and preparation in the way that they are building a young professional. So they're taking it from a young age, developing their technical skills, developing the tactical awareness of the game, improving their physical conditioning and their mental approach to the game. So I think we're starting to see the results. Every year for the last 3 years, we've seen an improvement of the quality of play, and I think we're seeing it this year, that our clubs are slowly but surely catching up to the international clubs.
We cannot develop better kids if we don't have better teachers. So we have done a lot of work on this subject. The last aspect is the competition aspect. We all know if we want to improve our kids, we need to develop them with more meaningful competition. And the GA Cup is a perfect example of this effort. With in one side, we try to benchmark our players and our coaches against the best team of the world, and Real Madrid is here to highlight that. But it's also, in the other side, the opportunity to create a coaching symposium to try to link both competition and coaching education, and to make sure we have different layers in this process to upgrade and to improve everyone.
We can't afford to have this traditional mentality that we know everything, because the second we think that, we're going to stop growing. So as a nation, and I feel the more curious we are about the game itself, and put the ego to the side, and realize that there's a lot more to learn than what we know, then I think our development's going to have another boost.
In the previous structure that we had, when a player was good in an academy, almost he was the one that was getting the least coaching, because the clubs did not want to lose that player. Now I think we're creating an environment that is full of good players, so therefore those special players now are going to have to push themselves, and that's going to help them to raise the level and become those world superstars. I have no doubt that in a short period of time, we're going to see very special players. We're starting to see that.
Giovanni Reyna steps to the spot and puts his team ahead in extra time of the Premier Division Championship. Dallas, Texas, the site of the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup. David Goss and Michael LaHood with you for this knockout round matchup between the Houston Dynamo and the Liga MX side Tigres, as we are kicked off here for the second half. Tigres, they're all yellow kits going right to left on your screens. The Houston Dynamo and their black kits going left to right on your monitors, leading 2-1. After Houston Dynamo lost the opening group stage match of this tournament to this Tigres side 2-0. They took a 2-0 lead in this first half before the penalty kick from the center back in Edgar Villavicencio drew it to a 2-1 lead. And so Houston Dynamo going to fight for a spot in the next round against the winner of Charlotte and NYCFC, which will be our next game here on our streams on Twitch as well as on YouTube. We are in the Twitch chat as well, so feel free to send us any questions, any comments about what you think about this game so far, and let us know who you think is going to win. Houston Dynamo, good first half. For a little bit more on their halftime talk, let's go down to our sideline reporter in Kelly Glendenning.
Actually, this time I heard some extra motivation from starting goalkeeper Jonathan Montanu, and he said he just really thought that this game was theirs for the taking. He had a great message for his teammates when he walked over. He said, it's just been those little mistakes that we need to clean up. He even drew it back to their previous game where they were tied at half and managed to come out in the second half and really put on a great performance. He said, guys, we're up this time. It's our game to win.
Thanks so much, Kelly. It was a 2-1 win over RSL on the last day that got them into this round, and as Kelly mentioned, it's nice to hear the leaders being the players in this moment.
You'd ask me after they gave up the goal what they need, and I said leaders need to step up. Your character guys need to step up. I've had so many teammates, and fortunate. I remember early in my career, Zach Thornton, Big Z, he was a vocal leader on the team, and if you didn't hear him during the game, you definitely heard him on the bus afterwards. You made a mistake.
Zach Thornton, one of the great goalkeepers in MLS history. Young players being coached by some great mentors as well. An opportunity for DeFay to get forward here, and DeFay gets taken down.
DeFay doing well to be aggressive. Often you see outside backs take the short road, take the easy road, and the more cautious road when you get in the attack by making the 5-yard pass, making the safe pass. Because DeFay is aggressive, he now forces an attacker to run 60 yards and make a foul. And now Houston have a good opportunity off a free kick.
And this young man, Parker Jackson, playing up in age as an 06, had the Olympico for the second goal for the Houston Dynamo. And he stands over this one with his right foot, as does the left center back Pinilla as well. Pinilla fakes it. Jackson clips it in. And it's a whiff in the box, a big opportunity for the Dynamo. And now Tigres, they're immediately going in transition, and the Dynamo win it back.
The Dynamo have already been effective off of set pieces, and there's Ferreira, who had a clean look at that. I think the wind.
Pressure on here from Tigres. They force the turnover. Looking for an opportunity, and it's Galvan punched up into the air and then knocked out by Sanchez on the rebound.
We've seen the wind play a factor throughout this tournament, and Houston very fortunate. They almost inflict their own wounds on themselves. One half you're going with the wind, but it's a very different type of game. Tigres stepping up the high press, and Sanchez thought he should have done a little bit better on that. Very unlucky for Tigres not to be even at 2-2.
Tigres upping that pressure, extending it that little bit more. And Houston now, we always have to mention it here, they are going into the wind for this second half. And the opportunity maybe for the pressure to come a little more. Ferreira now chasing, pressing himself. Big long clearance. Pinilla heads it up into the air. Lampman with the second header. Isak Galvan challenging that back line, and now Tigres looking to attack down the left. Who else but Diego Sanchez? Sanchez closed down by black jerseys, When the whistle blows, it'll be a free kick coming here for Tigres in a dangerous spot.
Such a smart play from Sanchez. He tries to go 1v1 with the outside back, sees the double team coming, and rather than giving up the ball, he just puts his body behind the ball and waits for the contact. As soon as the contact comes, he goes down and draws the foul.
Tigres preparing their first substitute of this game. Sanchez now standing over this free kick. He's been the danger man all tournament. He had a goal in the first matchup against Houston to open the scoring in the second half. He created every opportunity, including putting in the equalizing corner kick against RSL in the second game. And now he serves this one in. And it's right on the hands there of the goalkeeper, Montanu.
And you're going to have to do a little bit better than that to beat a tall, lanky presence like Montanu. I thought Sanchez went with the pitching wedge for those of you golfers out there when he should have driven it a bit more and really get some whip. If you whip it, it can go anywhere. It can bounce on the ground. It can find its way in the back of the net.
So I'm out here preparing, studying all these young soccer players, all this soccer, and I get here, now I gotta know about golf? Come on, Michael. Hey, meet me halfway.
Ah, dude, I'm telling you. I gave you the Northeast pep.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'll take that. Isak golf on now, breaking into the box. David Goss and Michael Lahoud with you here alongside Kelly Glendenning. Pitch side for the second of our 4 round of 16 matches here on Broadcast Field 4, and it's fun as you walk around these fields. The players, they know when they're getting games on Field 4. I hear there's the broadcaster. We're playing there tomorrow, trust me. So these players, this is an exciting moment for them. It's a big step in their development, as well as the first substitute coming here for Tigres. 7 subs available to these coaching staffs to be used. They can use them in 3 moments in this second half. So Tigres looking to bring on Eric Guerrero here. It looks like it'll be changed for the center back Santiago Garcia.
Interesting sub brought by the Tigres manager. I think it's really probably personnel shift. Go for a bit more speed in midfield, maybe mobility.
So the sub made. It looks like the center mid Jorge Zapata will drop down and play as that left center back, as Eric Guerrero goes on into the attack. So Tigres alarmed a bit maybe by the way this second half has played out, as Guitao drops the shoulder and goes upfield. He wins the throw-in for his team. It was interesting listening to the Houston coach at halftime a bit. And one of the things we talk about when we do this all the time is development is important. Winning is important. Those can be separate. Sometimes learning how to win is a skill. And for these Houston players, can they kill momentum at the right times? Can they wait the right amount of time for a throw-in? Can they handle all of those little half moments that get you over the line against an experienced elite team like Tigres?
And really, it's can you handle, how do you play on different parts of the wind?
Ball crossed in there. Garrick's first touch a little long. A gorgeous ball, though. It's been a bright start to the second half for DeFay.
And I think if Garrick, he's running before that ball comes. If he slows his momentum down, the first touch was...
Garrick working hard to win it back now, pressuring the back line. Goalkeeper putting that one out for a throw-in.
The intention and the execution of his first touch was good, but if you're going to take an aggressive touch like that, you have to be standing still or not at least moving with that sort of speed. He's got the pace to beat the center back if he slows his momentum down.
Garrick, 3 goals in the tournament. The opening goal here in this one, it was a one-touch finish at the near post on a gorgeous build-up down the left wing from Alanis. And DeFay, Michael, I love that. It was Alanis in the first half. Left. DeFay's come out. He's earned a corner kick, a free kick, and he's got a couple dangerous crosses in.
Must be something about the wind and something about the blades of grass on this side closest to it. Maybe it's for the broadcast.
Maybe it's for us. It could be for us. Everyone likes to shine. An opportunity to play this set piece in again. It's Jackson's right foot and Panilla's left foot. It'll be Panilla. And he hits the crossbar. He walked away and felt like I did that it was off in the wind. And it snuck down right off the post.
And the Tigres manager walked away, but his hands were up in the air, thinking, what was that?
And an unbelievable attempt there from the center back. Mateo Panilla. And now Tigres trying to get back into the attack. And DeFay continues his active second half. He puts it out for the corner. Sanchez has an option to go short if he wants it. He looks that off, and he will take it into the box as the center backs come forward to give some more options. A little jostling in the box, and now Sanchez will take it. Floats it to the far post. A gorgeous take there by the goalkeeper to come out in pressure and take that down.
That's the type of assertive goalkeeping that you need when you're going against the wind. We've seen quite a few goalkeepers get stranded in no man's land, get boxed out, and it's resulted in goals. Montaigne, you're a leader at the back. You did it vocally. Now you're doing it with actions.
Including in that first half when Parker Jackson scored on the Olympico that bounced in the box and went in. Guitao now on the dribble. Guitao puts it into the feet of Ferreira. Ferreira sees the ball bobble away from him.
That's the type of letdown in the middle of the park, especially when you're getting in the attack. If Ferreira collects that, I think he takes his eyes off the ball at the last second. But Guitao, he was running in behind. Ferreira, if he gets a good first touch, he could see that give and go available for him from Guitao.
Andre Guitao, one of the brightest young prospects in the history of the Houston Dynamo. And on another strong display here in the round of 16 for his team. Battle in midfield. Houston wins it back. Ferreira looking through for Jackson. And just intercepted at the last moment. And Tigres able to win the ball back. And now the substitute Guerrero trying to help release the attack. Tigres trapped into the corner and the slide tackle from Alanis. Something to watch out for this game. Brian Alanis with the assist. Saw that aggressive tackle. He's got 2 yellow cards already in this competition. A yellow card in this game would mean a suspension for a potential quarterfinal match. 3 yellow cards over the course of the tournament, a suspension, but you can't pick that up in the semifinal. So if he can get through the next 2 games and they will make it to a final, he would be fine from that semifinal on, but you can see where those yellow cards come from with that tackle.
And this goes beyond just this game. That's a learning moment for him. And how do you maintain the trust of your current coach? Because when you get to the first team in your development, you're going to have to manage playing with cards.
The ball floated to the far post. We saw it in World Cup qualifying. Tyler Adams, Zach Steffen, Miles Robinson, big players put in tough moments, which Greg Berhalter trusting that they could keep themselves safe to get to the next games.
And you need your big players to stay on the field no matter what minute, no matter what level or what stage of a competition. You'd hate to see a Houston team get a result today and go without one of their best players, especially one of their best defenders, into the next match.
Houston Dynamo preparing their first substitution. It looks like it'll be Zeke Soto, the U.S. Youth National Team striker, to come on here. And we will see what Adine Usman Basic, the head coach for the Houston Dynamo, is looking for, as Gehrig comes in a little late there, gets called for the foul as he takes a piece of Jorge Zapata at the end of that play. So the Dynamo preparing that first substitution as we approach the midway point of this second half. 30-minute halves for a 60-minute game here at the GA Cup. The heat's starting to rise as the sun shines as we enter the afternoon.
We've also seen the foul count start to rise against Houston. When that ball comes in, if you're center back, if you're Lampman, you cannot put your hands up. You just have to let the attacker, if he gets there first, you have to let him just get it, and then you start defending. You don't want to gamble because the ball can bounce with this wind. If you dive in, it can bounce over you. Now the center forwards in on goal.
I'm just getting the athletic stance immediately. You're ready to play. Michael Lahoud, he's ready to ball out here. Someone get him a touch as Tigres lines up this free kick. Big opportunity for Tigres to try and equalize here. Played low and short and knocked into the back of the net. A tricky free kick for Tigres. And for the second time, they get a goal from a dead ball moment, and they get themselves back to 2-2.
This Tigres team has character, and they have character by a boatload. Set pieces have been the difference maker for them in this game. And when that ball gets hit low, it's so hard to deal with because of this hard ground. The ball's bouncing. Houston doesn't react. They're expecting the ball to go in the air, but they fall asleep, and Tigres reacts fastest and get the goal. We have a game on our hands, folks.
So the goal for Marcelo Salinas there off that free kick in the 45th minute. And all of a sudden we are tied at 2-2 as Houston makes that substitution. And now they earn a free kick. So free kick coming here for the Dynamo. We will go down to the sideline in a moment. Kelly Glendenning standing alongside Houston Dynamo Academy Director Paul Holliker as Houston chips this free kick into the box. Opportunity to put a cross in here. Defay with the cross to the far post, all the way through the box. Alanis and Guitao on the far side. Andre Guitao for some space to work. Alanis had the assist on the opening goal. He's up into the attack. And now he will bring the ball back a little bit. Guitao can't find the opening. As Houston Dynamo will work it around the back. And the offside flag will go up. And let's go down to Kelly Glendenning alongside Academy Director Paul Holliker. Kelly, down to you.
Paul, there's been a lot of growth and development with this Houston Academy. What's really gone into it, and how proud are you to have this group out here today representing in the knockout rounds?
Wow, super proud, super proud. Well, I've been in Houston for about 4 years now, and I would say, the number one thing is the commitment by the club, to invest in the academy, and we've developed a really good structure. We've brought in more staff. We brought in, I think, a lot of really good people in the staff, and I think we've also done a good job working in the community and in the other areas that it takes to develop players.
And this tournament is just a great opportunity for these players to get out here, get in front of some really big people, really look at that future for them. What is their career going to look like? So how has that experience been for this entire academy to be here at the GA Cup?
Oh, the GA Cup is amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I've been here at the GA Cup for 7 years or so, and every year the MLS clubs are getting better and better, in relation to the internationals. So, when you've been doing this for a little while, you start to kind of train your eye to see what's out there and what the potentials are. So there's plenty of professionals on this field today, and it's just great to see where we're going as a league and as a country.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you so much to Paul Holliker and Kelly Glendenning down there on the sideline. And Paul said it, it's been hard work. It's been commitment from the club. And now we see under new ownership group, a new setup, it feels like a group ready to promote these young players and give them their opportunities.
And it's a shift in culture for this team. What you do on the field, it's a representation and a culmination of the culture that you're building.
That one just a little too far for Jackson. We saw Soto come on in place of Vivo right after that goal for Tigres. So the Dynamo, they lose 2-0 in the opening group stage game against Tigres. They take a 2-goal lead here in this knockout game. Now Tigres has reeled them back in at 2-2 with about 10 minutes left to play. How does this game stand here? What are you thinking about as a player if you're down there on the field?
Well, as a player, stops in the game like this, they kill momentum. It's been Tigres with the wind at their back and really pressing and going from a deep lying team and a deep line, and now they're high pressing. So if you're Houston, this is a good time. Look at your manager. Don't look at the player who's down on the ground. This is where details, little just gems of information. Focus on what your manager's saying, and then execution. Late in the game, execution is what differentiates the teams who win in knockout phases and the teams who go home early.
And it might only be 60 minutes in these games, but this, the fourth game in 4 days for these young players. So physically, mentally, who can stay engaged all the way through this game? If we are tied, we'll go straight to penalty kicks in this one. Looks like Parker Jackson's ready to come back on. Guitao leading the counter the other way. He pushes it wide. That cross curled in and knocked away. DeFay brings it down. Wela on that right wing.
With Parker Jackson going out, this is the move I've been waiting to see. Guitao has been on that left-hand side. Now he's coming in almost as a second forward. Look for that interchangeability between he and Jackson, especially as Houston look to get the go-ahead goal.
Jackson fell up with that little bit of a cramp, and you can understand why. He is out there covering every blade of grass on this field, taking every set piece. He has been incredible in this game. Guitao knocking it back. Oruela looking to switch the point of attack. And now Jackson into that final third. Big tackle deep in the corner for Tigres. And they're in transition once again. Tigres flying forward. Sanchez sprays it wide. Isaac Galvan comes inside on his right foot. And he's not able to get all of that shot.
And the run from Sanchez is what opens this opportunity up. Because Sanchez decides to make the darting run, he takes two Dynamo defenders with him, creates the angle and the lane for Galvan, but Galvan hits the ground. It's just the lack of execution in the final third from him, but really good build-up play. That play started in Tigres' own end.
Tigres, they don't take much to go from winning possession to being goal dangerous. And that is the fear for the Houston Dynamo. I have to say, overall, I think the Dynamo have had the bulk of the play, but the chances have been even both sides.
And really, the quality of chances is what matters most in tournaments like this and showcases like this. We've seen so many teams have possession. For those who watched Champions League yesterday, Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine, they say no gracias to possession. They say yes to goals and winning games.
Houston Dynamo here. They'd love to get that knockout win. The same, they'd love to get into the quarterfinals. Paul Holliker talked about the work that's gone in over the last few years and the pride and potentially the pros on the field here. Guitao earns that free kick. And once again, Houston, they've been dangerous from set pieces. Can they find another goal here? David Goss, Michael LaHoo with you, alongside Kelly Glendenning. Shout out to all of you in the Twitch chat, enjoying this one with us as we approach the final few moments of this second half. It's been Panilla's left foot and Jackson's right foot over every set piece today. Jackson fakes it, Panilla takes it to the far post, and the offside flag was up as it went just over the head of Lampman.
It's better delivery from the Dynamo, switching it up. Jackson has been the consistent set-piece taker, and I like that that is an out-swinging cross. I think if it's in-swinging, the Tigres goalkeeper would have had that, especially with the impact of the wind.
This one awkwardly outside of the box, and then taken in and picked up and rolled out immediately. Oruela with the long ball over the top, can't find a teammate. Lampman had to recover from a deep position. He wins it back, taken off his foot. DeFay clears it up the middle. Gehrig able to challenge on that opportunity. Soto now chasing, and Zapata with the big switch of the field. Alanis heads it up to his teammate Panilla.
And with that switch, that diagonal, keep an eye on Sanchez. He's now on the right-hand side.
Guitao charging forward onto his right foot, cuts it back. Chased down by Sanchez, and he cleanly takes it away. And Padilla with the last-ditch tackle. These two teams going for it in this round of 16 match. 5 minutes left. If we don't have a winner, we are headed to penalty kicks for a shot at the quarterfinals of the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup. DeFay, he's been active in the attack all second half. That one's knocked away.
You see tackles flying. You see both coaches animated, benches animated. This is where it really gets interesting. There's only a couple minutes left. Who is going to be the player who steps up to take responsibility of the big moment? Because late in games, each team will get their clean look on goal.
The Dynamo are looking for their first look here. Taken cleanly by the goalkeeper. So an opportunity to take a hydration break here as the heat rises at Frisco, Texas. David Goss, Michael Hood, and Kelly Glendenning with you for this one. Michael, about 5 minutes left. So what's the message here? Are you pushing? Are you worried about counters? What are the two coaching staffs saying to their team?
If you're Houston, you're saying push, get the goal. One thing about the Dynamo, they have not made it to a penalty kick shootout in this tournament thus far. Each game they've played has been decided outright. For Tigres, you have the confidence of being in a PK shootout win, and your goalkeeper, he's going to be up for it. Gonzalez made some good saves, 2 saves against RSL in the win that got them top spot in the group and really set them on mission to be in this match.
So let's take a look at what this could mean for these two teams as we take a look at our bracket in the round of 16 right now. Inter Miami, they won our first knockout game against Atlanta United. That one dramatically 2-1. Tigres and Houston will face off against the winner of Charlotte FC against NYCFC. We will have that game coming up in about 45 minutes, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Charlotte FC, their first ever Generation Adidas Cup. They won their group. They've played phenomenally both at the 17s and 15s level. And NYCFC, one of the best academies in the country.
And for Charlotte, they've really put an emphasis on their U17s and on their academy, and it's showing resources going towards that. And I was very fortunate to bump into one of my former college teammates who's with their U17s, Brian Edwards. Always good to see familiar faces at this GA Cup.
And it's been one of the coolest parts of this GA Cup that it's your generation now, and even more recent generations, no offense, that have now moved into coaching, scouting, front office position, refereeing, whatever it is. A lot of people that know the game, that have sort of lived the game in this country, in this region, that are now a part of this development. And we have entered the final few moments of this one. It was a 2-0 lead in the first half for Houston. Miles Garrick, his third goal of the tournament off the setup from Alanis in the 17th minute. Parker Jackson, the Olympico, in the 22nd minute. 1 minute later, a penalty kick for Tigres got them halfway back before Salinas put in the free kick in the second half. And Tigres, they have fought all the way back from 2-0 down to take the lead in the dying moments.
You cannot make this stuff up. This Tigres team just will not quit. They will not give up. Keep an eye on Sanchez. We mentioned the switch from the left to the right, and the captain delivers mouth-watering service into the box. And Salinas, he's already had a goal to his name. And the midfielder, right place at the right time, making the deep-lying run. Yesterday we saw midfielders running out of midfield, getting in the box. Today it's more of the same. And the two young stars for Tigres combining to surely make this interesting. And I want to say put the game, set, match. But a late goal like that, just character-driven stuff from the team from Monterrey.
Of the 5 goals scored coming into this game, 4 had been scored by someone with the last name Galvan, whether it was Isak or Isias. Diego Sanchez had also scored himself. No one in midfield had a goal. And now Salinas, 2 goals in the second half. And Galvan's on his horse once again, and the flag goes up. As dramatic a comeback as we have seen. What a incredible game so far. Michael, we talked about it, knowing how to win games, see it out. That is part of the lessons, one of the things we've seen international teams be elite at. Tigres now, can they show their mettle in this tough moment? Soto puts on the pressure. He wins it back for his team. Challenging now. Parker Gamboa flying forward. He has it knocked away. Miles Garrick, he had the opening goal. Can't keep possession. Pinilla losing it to Sanchez, and Sanchez is off and running. He's got teammates joining him in the attack. Sanchez with the shot, and it goes wide.
Sanchez is one of the smallest players on this field, but this little guy will not quit. Has the heart of a lion. He picks this up from midfield, and look at the speed race. It's Garrick coming back, trying to chase him down, and Garrick does just enough. The power and speed of Garrick forces Sanchez to take the shot, and that's smart play from Sanchez. So he tries to cut it back. That kills your momentum as an attacker and as a team, because he had 3 guys in the box waiting for the cutback.
Well played from Garrick to put in that effort late in this game as a center forward to make that play. Tigres will make 2 late substitutions here. Try to kill off the momentum of the game a little for this Houston Dynamo side and bring some fresh legs into this one.
And the importance of that run from Garrick, it's 3-2. There's 4 minutes of stoppage time. And now you give your team a lifeline because it forces Sanchez to hit a shot wildly out of bounds.
Gamboa trying to flick that one on. And knocked all the way up the line. Houston Dynamo from 2-0 up to 3-2 down right now. Tigres, an immense performance from them. We saw them score an equalizer in stoppage time over RSL that got them into the knockout stages. And the drama continues for the Liga MX Giants in this one. Galvan chases this one down and will force Lampman to play it. We have entered a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. Is there another one in this for this Houston Dynamo team?
And you see a shift for Tigres. Sanchez, who's been played provider, who drew the penalty kick, he's now stepped into left back. It's going to look more like a 4-4-1-1 for Tigres. Reshuffling of the pack. But very interesting move to put Sanchez back there, and I think it's down to his speed, recovery speed for this team.
So this ball floated up into the air. Big clearance there. Galvan on his horse to try and kill this one off. Pinilla the first one to it. And now Houston will try and get back up the field, but the wind not playing them any favors. As this one sneaks down to a throw in deep in the half. It was the center back, Villavicencio, with the penalty kick goal in the 23rd minute. That was drawn by Diego Sanchez to start the comeback in the first half. And it was 2 second half finishes, one from a free kick by Marcelo Salinas and one out of the run of play. And Salinas' double right now has Tigres ahead into these dying moments. Could this free kick be the last opportunity as a yellow card is shown here to Isak Galvan? It's going to be Orihuela. Or excuse me, he will now push in. It'll be the goalkeeper on this one. Montanillo coming. He curls it in. He can't get it over the defense. Back out to the goalkeeper, Montanillo. We'll let that one roll out for a throw-in. Dying moments here. Claims from Tigres to the referee to blow that whistle. The Dynamo searching for one more opportunity. Gary can't bring it down. Pania pushes it forward once again. Flicked on by the Dynamo's players, and that is it. This is what knockouts are all about. The drama that lives with this one as Tigres again with a comeback here at the Generation Adidas Cup, and they move on to the quarterfinals, coming back from 2 goals down for the 3-2 win here in Frisco, Texas. An unbelievable performance. Isias Galvan and Diego Sanchez once again lead the way as Tigres moves on, and we've got Charlotte FC, NYCFC about half an hour away to see who they will meet in the next round. That is 2 of 4 round of 16 games in the books. It's been dramatic. It's been incredible. A total of 8 goals in 2 games, and the quality on display. Tigres move on to the quarterfinals, and we'll be back with more knockout action from the 2022 Generation Adidas Cup.